And now it's time for all dads to step up to the plate. Remember the words of community activist Miss Cheryl Francis. Dads, take your kids to school. In other words, get more involved with your children. But see what happened to this dad in News Channel 8's interview with Wes Small.
Drama once again and how it affects children's lives. That's the sad thing. News Channel 8 hates to get involved with domestic issues. I have to tell you, especially this reporter, but from time to time again, it seems like a lot of these stories do tie into what we're talking about. You know, we always talk about Stop the Bleeding with Cheryl Francis, the lieutenant governor's wife, and also how we talk about dads stepping up to the plate. Well, now we have a story. This is Carlos, and he's a dad. He has a 10-year-old boy, and he just tried to see his 10-year-old boy, and he was told he couldn't do that. Carlos, let's go back and take us exactly what happened.
Okay, last night my son called me. His name is Ryan. He calls me to bring him a baseball glove and some stuff I have for him. So I said, okay, I'll bring it for him to school. Not a problem. I show up today to Lumoko School with the bag, and I went to the principal's office, the office. I said, I'm here to see my son Ryan. I signed in the book like I was told to. As the lady, I believe is a principal, and I was so upset I didn't even get her name. As she's writing the pass out to me, she asked me if I have custody. And I told her, no, I have visitation, but there's nobody have custody. And she says, oh, I don't think you can see him. I'm like, what do you mean I cannot see him? I have to call the mother, she says. I said, you don't have to call the mother for nothing. I have visitation. I can see my child. There is nothing the court states anywhere, and I challenge anybody to bring any documentation from the court stating that I cannot see my son. I went to see him to bring him something that he asked me for. They refused me to see him. They need to call the mother. So I left, and I told the lady upon leaving, I said, so this is how you preach on the air with your TV commercials and your senators and your governor and everybody saying, where are the fathers? Stop the bleeding. Oh, when somebody, young man shoots somebody else, they're like, oh, his father wasn't there. Well, here I am. I have 5 children, Wes, 3 of which I have custody. I raised practically on my own until I was remarried to my now wife I have. That helped me raise the other kids that I have. 2 of them, of my older sons, are working right now. One of them made me a grandfather recently. They are out of trouble, not in jail, haven't done any crimes. My daughter's 14 and I have her. And I have a 10-year-old daughter. Now you mean to tell me I cannot come see my child? For what grounds do they have from stopping me?
All right, well, listen, you say no one has custody, but that can't be right. He's a 10-year-old. Your wife obviously has custody most of the time, right?
No, ex-girlfriend, not wife.
I'm sorry, I keep saying that.
She has possession of him, but no custody battle was, the way she asked me is like if we went to court and somebody was declared a custodial parent. That never happened. When we split up, she was awarded the custody by me visitation, but nothing to say that I fought for it and lost.
So how often do you get to see Ryan?
Well, I don't see him much because of the problems I'm having with the mother. Every time I had him and I tried to return him, it was always a problem. That's a whole different story. But I don't want to get into that to avoid a problem with the mother. The problem here is not the mother right now. The problem is the school. The school has no right in stopping me from seeing my son, especially when nothing is in their file. The lady didn't even take a minute to check my boy's file. Because I tried that once years ago when I had my daughter. I had custody. And I tried to stop the mother from seeing her. The first thing I was told from the principal of Kirby Larson, now this is a principal that knows what she's doing. She says, unless you produce something from the court or a pending investigation from the police department, I cannot stop the natural mother from visiting the child.
Seems to me you're not angry at your exes. You're angry at the system.
At the system, because I see
the dads always get the low blow.
Exactly.
When you have a domestic violence issue, police come to the house. The first person that's ordered to leave is
the father,
the man. Now, when it's ever an issue about the children, the last guy on the totem pole to see his kids are
the father,
the man. Come on, Women's Coalition, help us out here. Somebody, let the fathers and the dads do their job. So, and you know, I mean, is there anything else you want to say? You have stepped up to the plate. That's what you think?
And I will continue stepping up, because this is the last straw. This was my last straw. I've been having problems over the years with seeing my son, but I'm going to beg, borrow, and try to get money to get an attorney, and I'm going to get my son visitation, because this is it. They want to see fathers fight. Well, this father's going to fight the legal way, and I hope to God there is a legal way, because apparently today, what I saw was propaganda, and that happens overseas. That shouldn't happen here in the Virgin Islands. USVI, not the foreign Virgin Islands. This is the United States of America, from what I understand. I was a veteran. I fought for my rights too. This is crazy, Wes. This is absolutely crazy.
All right. All right. Carlos says that enough is enough. He says that the men are getting the short end of the stick when it comes to just about everything. I'm Wes Small. We're all over this one on News Channel 8.
And we've got more drama for you ahead on Channel 8 News. Stay with us.